Yeah, let's
Oh,
go
no,
for this.
quite all right.
Yeah, let's go for this.
Now okay, let me pull up, there we go. So the characterization, the symbol that they use in my case is the rooster.
Yeah, rooster is the bird. Okay, basically, there is a Panchapakshi system. In that, there will be 5 birds, and each bird will be associated with each characteristics of you. Okay.
Mhm. Well, reading it over, which I also did before the podcast and getting a chance to reread it, you analyze everything and come to a conclusion. I can be thoughtful that way, but I also tend to sometimes make decisions that aren't the best choice. But I'm seeing later, and it says, however, your way of talking reflects your show-off behavior. Got me there. I was a natural performer before I became one. I've
Okay.
always been a performer, and in essence, I'm still an entertainer. It's just
Okay.
now I'm using the written word to entertain
Mm-hmm.
instead of me showing up performing at an event. But show off behavior, that's sounds like me, and it's something I have to be careful of, because I tend to like being the center of attention.
No, you are trying to say that you are telling me I have a show of behavior, or you are having?
No, it's me. I have the show off behavior. That's so me, because
No,
I'm
it's I mean, yeah, it's good that you have that show of behavior.
for being an entertainer. Yeah, it's a good fit. It's a good fit,
Yeah.
because and it's an interesting thing. When I started as an entertainer, I desperately wanted attention all the time, and now I'm just, when I'm working, give me attention. When I'm not working, it's fine. I can be in the background. I no longer feel the need so badly as I did when I was young. So it's still there, but it's age has and experience has made it less of a thing I need so desperately, which is
Okay.
always good.
See, I also had this particular issue, the show of problem, and that is what made me as an that's what made me to go to stage and do some performance basically. So basically, when right now at this part of my life, I mean this point of my life, if I got a lot of time to look back and see what is that made me to uh, um, do a show of behavior and make it like that way. What I saw is because it is because I had a sibling. I mean, I had a brother,
Hmm.
and my natural tendency to get attention from my parents. It's like wanting thing, and to get the attention, I think I have spent a lot of my life. I mean, I am still younger, whatever, but yeah. So right now I am analyzing. I have spent more than 10 to 15 years just to get this attention.
But on the other hand, I think it's part of the thing that makes us want to be an artist. And you are doing your art in many different ways. First of all, you're doing your art in the astrological readings, which is, it's part math, but it's also part art. And then you're doing your podcasts, which is also coming in front of people and speaking off the top of your head. They say that public speaking is one of the biggest fears many people have. I have never had that fear. Can you get up and say, why, sure, I'm happy to do it. And since you have that same gift, this is what's causing you to do your podcasts and things. And as an artist, we always want to create. We
yeah.
never stop. In Jewish mythology, when God creates man, the idea is, it is said in the Torah, it says, let us make man in our image. to which they said, well, God's using the universal ye. But in Jewish mythicism, the idea is this. He's talking to the animals and he's saying to them, let us make man in our image, one part animal and one part divine. And it is the divine part of us that always wants to create. I often think it's the animal side of us that wants to destroy. But the divine spark, and for many of us, it leads us to becoming artists, of writers and performers and recording people. And it's that divine spark. It's that little bit of God in all of us that makes us want to create. And the draw to be the center of attention can be part of what gets us there. But as we do it more, we then do it more for the creation than for the attention.
Yeah, because as we do it more, when we get the more attention, we actually need to look at on how do we live, no?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
We have to really look at on. I mean, yeah, entertaining, everybody is happy, and I am also happy. Okay, what will I eat for the next bread or next?
I've had those weeks. Back in my early days, I had those weeks. But it's easy to get attention. Some people get attention by doing evil, bad, destructive things. But you and I have chosen to seek to do life-affirming and good things that I feel. I'd like to think that my novels will make people happy for a while. And your work obviously is uplifting. So you can get attention quickly by being a bad guy, but it's a choice that we want to get attention by doing things that will grow, that will make things better. And
No,
I think that's an
then
important
there is
distinction.
still a question: how do we define what is good or bad?
That
Good
is
or bad
true.
is relatively, we can actually assume
Concepts.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is relative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what one person considers good, other people consider yes.
Uh,
So it's subjective, but
uh.
I would like to think that we do things that bring people,
No,
good
it's a
feelings.
subjective also, and it is relative also, because
Yes.
sometimes if we see the freedom struggle where when there was Britain was here in India, those time Britain has felt Indians are terrorists because we
Yes.
are fighting for the freedom. Now we got the freedom, and now they are freedom fighters for us. They are no more terrorists, so it is relative also for the
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but it's interesting that the success of Britain leaving India was due to the nonviolent teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. So he brought an energy to it that changed the dynamic in a way where it could not be sustained any longer the way it was. For all there were people who again and again tried to throw the British out through warring and fighting, and but it was Mahatma Gandhi that caused it to actually happen through bringing peace to it. So it's an interesting. But yeah, I mean, I understand people fighting for the freedom here in the United States. We fought from our freedom from Britain in the 1700s because it is the natural desire of human beings to be free.
Yeah. So coming back to your chart.
Yes.
So this is Vetti. This is a plant which is present in this subcontinent. I mean, in the Indian subcontinent. This particular plant, what it does is like it could actually resonate your own energy. which means that you can come near to this particular plant and you can start communicate with this particular plant, you know.
Oh, wow. And it's the, oh, and it shows the different ones. Oh, my. It's related. Oh, and it's related to the other. So all the other plants have a different meaning in
Yeah.
the chart.
So
Wonderful.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah, I mean, each nakshatra will be, there are 27 different nakshatra. This 27 nakshatras will be related to one plant. So this is basically your plant, you know.
Wow.
This plant you could actually communicate with. Um, so this is how the group of stars will looks like. If you look at on the sky, you can see the screen now.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, if you look at on the sky, this is how the in galaxy, this is how it will looks like.
Wow.
Look at on the sky. And here we go, Asura Gana. So what does it mean? Okay, Asura means like demonic quality. So
Ah.
basically, demonic quality, we can't say that in Abrahamic sense of understanding. Demonic quality which won't which is not being said in the way which the Abrahamic understanding, it is being said in the way that humans will be having three different gana. One is human, deva means divine, and asura
Mhm.
which means demonic. And demonic doesn't mean that destructive, okay.
But it is a suggestion of some negative characteristics or what could be considered negative characteristics.
It is not again negative characteristics.
Yes.
Like it means if there is light, then only there is dark. If there is dark, then only there is light. If there is only light, there will be no dark.
Right. So the personality here is picking fights over petty issues, which I have to admit that is something that I can tend to do if I allow myself. And temperament may be self-centered and not care about anyone else. Yes, I can get into, especially when I'm very involved in a project. I suddenly become less aware and less helpful than I should be. But it's good to be reminded of that because any of that can be changed.
Yeah, this is more masculine characteristics. If we see, the feminine characteristic is more creative. Yeah.
Mhm.
Female is more creative, but this is more like masculine characteristics which somebody who would like to control, okay. And yeah, who would like to go into, I mean, who would like to drink alcohol, who would like to smoke and stuffs like that, you know. But yeah, you will get pleasure with these kind of things. That is what the demonic nature actually means, but it doesn't mean that it is a bad thing, okay.
No, no, it's just a part of your overall person that you need to be aware of.
Yeah, that makes you.
Yes.
And so if
Part of
we are working against what we are actually we are destructing ourselves, no.
Very true.
Yeah. So Swati quality. This is Swati quality, which is also associated with the Asuragana. So this quality will actually help you to stay into the wisdom. So for it is actually for purity, knowledge, and harmony. So you are a writer and you write about dark things like violence and stuff like that. So what is that made you to go there? The Swatic quality which is being associated with the demonic quality.
Hmm. There is a very common Western question,
Mhm.
religious question that people bring up, which is, why do bad things happen to good people? and my answer has always been, it's because God is a novelist. And you
Yeah.
have to have a story. You have to do bad things to characters that you really like in order for them to grow as characters. So conceptually, that's what life is about as well.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to good people, what we could consider bad things happening to good people, because it's all part. I mean,
No,
to
again,
have
again it will be relative. No, the good and bad, which is happening to a particular person, may or may not be good with
or
respect to.
bad.
Yeah,
It's a matter of because things happened in my life that at the time I considered were bad, but later on looking back, I went, oh, it's a very good thing that happened when that did. It
that
was
is
a
why you
very
are
good.
here. That is what made you
Yes.
to. Yeah.
Well, plus I grew so much as a person, and I became a better person, and my life became better after these situations. But at the time, they were very rough for me. So I think that this is part of this part of it. The Swataguna is, you can only achieve a contentment by going through the path. So having this as something that you're striving for and becoming is it's a wonderful part of this entire reading.
Yeah. So your Buddha, there are Pancha Buddha, the five Buddhas which will make you to that will actually make your body, according to Indian mythology. The one of the Buddha which is been associated with your body is Pancha Buddha Vayu. So what does it means is like you may tend to do things very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get it done very quickly. That is how you want to see things.
Okay, very very interesting. So my element is air, the breath.
Yeah.
Very good. Wow.
So what it does is like it will make you to do things very quickly.
Hmm. Very one. Very cool. Shakti,
And
this feminine force of creation.
huh, so Shakti basically this is the goddess. Okay, Shakti is the goddess, the center of tantra. Every tantric understanding, the woman is the existence. If we see the tantric side,
Uh-huh.
um, the existence is feminine, it's not masculine, so it is a goddess, it's not a god.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it is goddess, because it keeps creating, still it is not neither god or nor woman. I mean, it's neither men or nor woman, but still it is like Shakti is the creation, because it keeps creating. Okay, the similar passion, it will bless you, because of that you will be become creative.
Well, and also it goes to the again the Western concept of the muse in this case, and the muse is usually seen as a woman who inspires people to create.
What is that muse?
And
Can you?
so, in a sense, it's called the MUSE, and it comes from a Grecian myth of the four muses, and one muse is art, and one muse is beauty, and one muse is this, and the idea has been made in more Western societies has been made that the muse is this it's a concept that inspires you, and it tends to be considered feminine. It tends to be considered a woman. Um, and there are actually people, who said, well, this woman has been my muse, but conceptually, I like the idea. And this seems to be that same concept. This is the Eastern view of the same concept of the feminine force of creativity. Because, when you start a book and you don't know where you're going to go, that force of creativity is very, very important. Feeling that it's actually out there and leading you is very important. And that's what I think this signifies in me is this part of the reading.
Yeah. So the Vata nature, which means that you have, you are your body reflect to cold actually. So vata
Mhm.
is a quality which will make pain on body according to Ayurveda. So vata is the nature which will make pain on our body if it come into exposure with the hot weather, cold weather. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is the quality that could make pain on your body.
Well, I don't like cold.
Was that?
I don't like cold weather. So that seems to make perfect sense to me.
Mhm. So your god is Indra. Okay, this is the god of creation. Okay.
So
Uh,
I have creation twice, which is not terribly surprising.
no, yeah, yeah. So if
I have the
you,
goddess of creation, I've got the god of creation, both at the same time. So it's very, very interesting.
so basically there is two halves on in our soul. One is Shiva and another half is Shakti. So in your soul the female part is more. Okay, so
Hmm.
that is the goddess, that is how people has understood the feminine part or the creative side is more on your body. People call it as Shakti. Shakti is
Hmm.
more on you. The goddess is more on you. So the similar passion, that is more, the Shakti is more on you. That, that that will make you creative. If I have seen the artist chart of artists, musicians, and things like that. The common factor in this particular charts are like, in those chart, uh, the Shakti is more evident rather than that of
Uh-huh.
you know masculine. Shakti is more.
Hmm.
That is the observation which I have made with the working with the artist. In their chart the Shakti is more. And coming to your god is, in that particular area, or the when we look at on the sky, that particular area there will be stars, no? In that particular area there will be a consciousness will be there. That is the god. That is how the Vedic rishis has identified and given a name to that. That is called as, it is not exactly Abrahamic sense of god. This is like, you might be more aware with the Greek mythologies. The gods
Yes,
will be
with
with
its
us.
an essence of your person.
Yeah,
It's a part of you.
part of you. Yeah, exactly, because the world is nothing but it's you only.
Hmm.
Because what you see is what you are. It's like a reflection of mirror, no? You can see something and it is nothing else. It's just you only. What you see, it's just perception which is reflecting back. Like, you talk to your own self. You, starting you have
Yes.
told, yeah. So what you talk, it's what is happening. It's the thing which you speak. That is what you are only. Are you getting the idea which I am coming into? So this
No,
is
but I
the,
get it.
yeah. And so this is the Indra, the god of creation, which you've been in. You can easily get in contact with this particular god. It's not exactly god. It's a consciousness.
Hmm.
Like Pure Land Buddhism, now Pure Land Buddhism. Have you heard about Pure Land Buddhism?
Um, a it's more of a, I think conceptually it's more of a force of creation that you're able to tap into in this
Yeah,
case.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And as a writer, I'm literally creating every day. So I understand it completely, because the things the words I use are created by pictures in my mind of amazing things, and then I try to describe them in words so that people can get the same sort of picture in their head. So it's really the idea that you can take images in your head and turn them into things on a page that then another person can see, and then it creates things in their head. If that isn't the most amazing act of creation, I can't really think of a more amazing one, except maybe this technology.
Exactly, yeah. So this is one kriya, okay? Kriya, which means that is a basic is a breathing exercise, which is after the nakshatra yoga. There is a yoga process, and after that you can use this particular kriya. The video will be available in this particular link. I mean, you can see the link on your chart, which I have shared with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
On that thing, you can actually understand the kriya. The video will be there, and that will accelerate your creativity or
Oh,
the life force. And this is the sexual position you could actually get in contact with your other half. Yeah, this is what basically mostly about your nakshatra. Most of the
yes, it
things.
got, wow.
So we will go
It's
to.
it's a very it's a very thorough it's a very thorough look overall.
It's just the basic quality. Now we will go to more deeper understanding of your particular chart, which is like so. We are coming to the natal chart. Um, Second, third house, Saturn. So you have Saturn on your third house, which is on Bhavam, which is like Sahaja. So you will be a natural hard worker.
Oh, well, that, yeah, I have always been, and continue to be. Uh, I've always been, yes. The always being ready for an event, and always, except today when I was late. Oh my goodness! But always being ready, always being prepared, I think is very, very important. For and I got very, very lucky in my career because I was doing the right thing at the right time and seen by the right people. And if you're not prepared for that, um, what they call lucky breaks cannot manifest. You have to be prepared before the when the student is ready, the master appears. But also when the student is ready, the situation appears. And it's
Yeah.
very, 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 very true in my life. It's happened more times than I can count, where I was just happened to be in the right place, the right time, doing the right thing, and an opportunity came to me, and I was at the level where I was ready to do that opportunity, and it
Mhm.
just it and that I feel was accomplished through a lot of hard work. And but I, when you love what you do, you don't really ever work a day in your life. I mean, I love writing now. I love performing. I still like performing. I just did a show yesterday. So I still love performing and I still love writing. So I'm really enjoying my life at this point.
Um, so fourth house, moon is staying on your fourth house. So this is actually giving a clue that your mother could be your. She has helped you in a lot of time. You know, your mother in your life.
Oh yes, I was quite a difficult child. I was a lot of work for my mother. Yes.
uh, Rahu is on in Putra Bhava. You have a child?
I have a daughter. Yes.
She could be mostly like the magical or superstitious things.
She also is a writer, but she also creates websites. So again,
Okay.
she's very much pulled into the creative aspect. Though in
Did
her,
she like the magic and things like
oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah, she thought it was the coolest thing that her dad was a magician, and
No,
she's now.
magic in the not in the sense of the, I mean,
Oh, oh,
actual magic.
I'm not completely sure of her spiritual path at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's 33 now, so she's, and I find it amazing that I can have such an old child. But I don't know where her growth will take her, because a lot of my growth came in my 30s. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, but I certainly have encouraged her and brought her up to be open-minded and to look beyond what society tells her. So we'll have to see.
So the Rahu is basically associated with the occult kind of understanding, and that is staying on the fifth house. So which could be like your dog, I mean your kids will be having an larger understanding towards the occult kind of understanding. So that is what it is showing.
Very
10,
cool.
11. 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15. There is Ketu. And on 12th house, there is staying Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. So, what does it mean? So your 12th house is for liberation, the house which will actually help you to get liberate from whatever that is holding you back. Okay,
Hmm.
so in that house, all the planet, most of the planets are staying on this 12th house, which is Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Um, So you will conclude all these things. Okay. So Venus is like, which is the planet that is associated with the pleasure, and Jupiter and Mars is like, Mars is associated with the war, and Jupiter is with wisdom, Sun is with knowledge. So all those things is staying on the 12th house. Uh, so yeah, you will be like um, more. You will get an eccentric liberation.
Okay. Yeah. Eccentric liberation would fit most of my situations. My spiritual growth and my career growth and everything, all these different parts, came in very unusual and eccentric ways. So yeah, that would make sense to me.
So that is the 12th house. So this is the high energy calculation. So your seven Mukhi Rudraksha is the Rudraksha which that resonate. Rudraksha, you know what it is?
No, that's a new term for me.
Okay, Rudraksha is the seed which is being presented in India. Okay, that is from the trees. Okay,
Oh my.
Peoples in India believe that it is the tear of Shiva. Okay. So
I'm looking at it online right now,
yeah.
actually. And yeah, that's a very unusual seed. It's got different sections, and it looks a bit like a crown. You said it was the crown, the tiara. Did I understand that right?
What is that?
The seed looks a bit like a crown that one might wear on one's head.
Yeah, yeah. Could show you.
And
I could show you on the screen itself. Yeah. Just loading. Yeah, getting on the screen.
the seven-faced, which
Rudraksha. So Rudraksha will be
yeah,
having. See, this is how it will looks like.
yeah, and it's an amazing seed. Look at it with different sections and things like that. Very, very unusual. I mean, when you think of a simple seed like an apple or an orange, it's
Yeah.
very plain and just like a teardrop shape and very simple. That one is incredibly complex.
So this Rudraksha plants will be having different phases. One Mukhi Rudraksha, two Mukhi Rudraksha, three-phase Rudraksha. So yours is seven-phase Rudraksha, which is actually associated with the Saturn, the planet. So this will, if you wear this, what it will does to you is like it will actually accelerate the hard work on you,
Hmm.
the Saturn planet, it will get accelerated and it will help you to like, work hard. It will help you to work hard.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So this is like 65 years old you are right now. Okay.
Yes.
So 8 point
I'm very aware of that. Some days I'm more aware of it than others.
So after the age of 15.5, the planet Venus has started. So which means that Venus is the planet that is been associated with art, creativity, sex, drugs, and sort of stuffs like that. So basically, these are all the good pleasures which we get as a human to open up. It's a different stage. So this started to happen to you after the age of 15. I mean, will you become a good artist after the age of 15?
Hmm. Sorry, my cat wants to become part of the podcast. Wow. So yeah, well, I started performing when I was 16, and I started learning magic tricks when I was 19. So very amazing. It's really 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 right on again.
And what happens is like then after that there is 20, which means that 35.5, that, yeah. So your relationship will be happens before 35. You will, if you are getting married and all, that will happen before 35.
Okay. Well, I actually started writing around that time before I was 35. I've actually been writing for about 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
but I've only been publishing for about three. So, but again, it's like anything else in life. It's not a well. I started and I'm immediately an expert. I had to learn how to write and how to put things into a way that made a good book and a good story. So again,
Your dating and your marriage and all those things has happened. Uh,
yes.
it's
So
like it will be like 30 after 30, you know.
yeah, that's what it all happened. My wife is my current wife is my second marriage, and that was actually in our 40s. But my first wife was in our 30s. So it's really, yeah, that's kind of what happened in my life. Very amazing, very fun.
Then son, which will be like after 35. So your father has been got influenced after the age of 35. There's something has happened.
Yeah, well, I was, my father was 52 when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's when he influenced my life, and was after that. And uh, after 55 for me is when I started getting stories published. So, again, a lot of the writing and things have been later in life.
Then 40 plus 50 moon. Um, 35, 40, 50, 57. Now it's Rahu. Mm, so probably you could be started to write about magic and things like that more intensively after the age of 55.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean
That.
actual magic. What I'm speaking. I'm not speaking about the.
Oh, actually, I have a concept for a nonfiction book that is about spiritual growth, but so far that's been on the back burner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what all about your chart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are done with your chart.
Very nice.
Do
Wow.
you?
Applause, applause. Well done. Well delivered. Well,
uh,
it's just, this is so, the way it's established and set up is so different from Western astrology, but it's seems to have so many much more deeper uh, considerations. It's really very nice.
no, basically, it is mostly associated with the magic. What Western mind can understand is in the terms of magic, actually. You know, magic in actual magic, it's subjective experience level. Like, I mean, that is why Crowley comes. No, Crowley speaks about magics. Yeah, the same way. This is like magics. Maybe I don't know how do the Western mind will feel about all this framework of this.
Well, it's as opposed to the concept of magics as more of the concepts of higher consciousness and spirit is what I would refer to it as, because it's just the opening of the mind in new ways, which I find this fascinating. I find all of this fascinating.
How do you reflect on this framework, whatever you have gone through now?
Um, well, reflecting on every, you know, it's a lot easier to reflect for me because I'm on the the far end of my life as opposed to the near end of my life when I was in my 20s and things, and everything was open in front of me. Now I'm looking back at things while still progressing forward, and so I found it's very interesting to look at these the reading and point out, well, you're going to do this after you're 30, and it's like, well, yeah, that's what I did, and you're going to do this after you're 50, and it's like, well, yeah, that's what I did. So I find it fascinating that it was so and I don't think when I was younger I could have appreciated it. I don't think I could have understood if I was being told these things about, well, I got to wait till I'm 50 to do that. I got to wait till I'm 30 to do that. And, you know, looking back, I'm like, well, yeah, and it happened at just the right time. So it's very reassuring on one level because I've really led my life as this chart shows. This is really kind of how I live my life and still continue to live it. But coming from a place of joy and enjoying it. So, which I think is the most important thing, is that, you know, I can look back and everything that happened was meant to happen. And you know, for people who might be listening to this and are going through life situations, you're going to come through the other side. You're going to come through. There's situations in life that happen to all of us. So what I would recommend to people who are experiencing things, that, you're going to come through the other side and find your creative, find the thing that gives you joy. So this has been a tremendously, I got a great deal out of this. I hope I haven't been a bad guest to you, Eric.
No, I mean, every guest is becoming a friend, and I mean, what you got out of this and what I can get out of this, I mean, do you really got something out of this?
Yes, it's very, I for one thing, some of the negative qualities of, or what one might consider the negative qualities of some of these things are definitely situations that still exist within me and that I work on, and being aware of them. We all have habits that we consider bad habits, and we can choose to do them or not. So it's good to be reminded, so that I remember the things I want to do and the things I want to bring to the people in my life. I mean, I can be argumentative and sometimes, but through life, I've been more and more wanting to let them go. Oh, and there's my cat again.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a appearance by my cat on this podcast. So 2 guests for the price of 1. There you are. So Aaron, I want to thank you for your time. I think this has been a really fun session.
Yeah, thank you for your time also, sir, to be becoming the part of my podcast. And do you have any questions I mean something else you want to share with anybody? I mean, so I want to reach out what would you say to the younger generation?
To someone who's starting in magic, or performing, or writing, or what would my advice be to any of those or one of those?
Do you feel the magic understanding, I mean the occult tradition, can have an impact on the human being? Does it make any sense to human being?
I think pursuit of spirit and pursuit of what we might call higher consciousness. Oh dear. But pursuit of what we would call higher consciousness and what you refer to as the occult tradition, but I would refer to as consciousness and growth as a human being, I think is our most important thing. Becoming better for ourselves, as opposed to good and bad, because that's one of the things you brought up that's very important is we in the West we tend to be, well, this is good and this is bad, and those are your choices.
No, the thing is now it is that thing has been imported to India also by Christian missionaries.
Well, for there to be a society, we have to be aware of things that society considers good and bad, but situations in our personal life that one person might consider bad, one person considers good. But the point being that you need to find things spiritually that make your life work, that make your life unfold like the lotus blossom. And that's the thing, because when you find these things that make your life better, and I have been able to get many of that by studying spirits, learning about higher consciousness, learning to meditate. All these things have helped me grow, not only as a human being, but in ways where my creativity is freer and my ability to accept situations is better. So that's what I would recommend. What I would recommend is finding a practice, a spiritual practice, whatever it is, that improves your life and improves you. So that's what I would advise. And I think these podcasts you're doing are absolutely amazing. I think it's a wonderful thing to do. and get the message out to people that there are different ways to look at things and different ways to think.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah. Bye.